Namaskar. So this is Rohit Apadia back with you again on a new topic, and the topic for today is purpose of food. Purpose of food. In the series of purposes, we are adding a new topic, purpose of food. Broadly, we already discussed in one of the previous videos about purpose of life, purpose of food, purpose of house or shelter, purpose of clothing, and so many points. Today we are going to look detailedly on the topic of, or in the topic of, purpose of food. Now you might be wondering that this may not be an important topic to be discussed. Why this person is discussing it so keenly and meticulously? This is because I would like to bring about an important fact in front of you, is that currently the population of the globe is around 8.5 to 9 billion people, and we have the capacity to produce food for almost 3 times more than the population that resides today on this planet. Yet more than 50% of the population sleeps hungry once. I mean it that it eats only once a day, or maybe not even that. So where does the problem lie is the question. People like you and me who are of middle class family may order it on Zomato or Swiggy or any other app, and you may get a home delivery, and probably if you don't like, you just take it and put it off in the dustbin, or maybe it goes waste. But the question is, what about those people who are next to your doorstep, or maybe at the periphery of your place, and are just hungry and waiting for a package of 600 rupees for their family, which will give them, or which will subside their hunger for next 15 days. Probably if you and me calculate 600 rupees, you just wasted very surely on very trivial things that we may not even count for. But the question remains the same. Then where does the problem lie? If we have a 3 times more capacity of production, but still there is under distribution of 50%. The question is, where does the problem lie? And what I feel a simple answer to this is, it is not the deficiency that is a problem, but it is the disproportionality which makes a problem. As you can see on the screen, this poster we have, that it is deficiency which is not the problem, it is disproportionality which is the problem. In the race of this 21st century, in the competitive world, in the competency based world, we are probably losing and forgetting our values, morals, ethics, and all other moralities, being a human being. We have lost the humanitarian basis, it feels, because we are all in the race of survival of the fittest. There is no difference between the age-old apes and we humans today, who call themselves as a so-called Homo sapiens sapiens. I don't feel any difference significantly, because those species also ate and reproduced, and what we are doing the same. There is no humanitarian basis, unfortunately, I would like to bring to your notice. You can see this in and out, day in and out, and in your day-to-day life, we experience this. Probably when we are on the signal of the circle or the square you call, and there if you see someone begging before you for a meal, for 5 rupees, for something to eat, we may not even open the door of the car, or we may not even open the window pane of the car. The question is, where does this humanity, today, where is it lying? This question remains still. Now, as I said, that we are all in the race of survival of the fittest, and I compared that the apes that were there and what we are living today, there is no significant difference. Everyone is wanting to just continue the species, the family, stay, earn, stay, and spend. That's it. There's no purpose of life. There's no purpose of life. If there is a feedback through Google Forms, and if you ask a question, what is the purpose of life? Just explain it in a word or two, or maybe in a sentence. Maybe most of the people will not be able to explain it, because for most of them, the concern is what to become. Their concern is not what to do. The concern is what to become, and there where all problem lies. I would like to drag your attention and limit the topic to just purpose of food and not to the life, because there's another video for it. Purpose of food, if you consider, again I say that deficiency is the problem. No, deficiency is not the problem, sorry. Disproportionality is the problem, I repeat. So if you see that in this rat race of competitive world, where everyone is going for struggle of existence, it's not the survival of the fittest, but what more important is protection of the weakest. Protection of the weakest will decide that whether we are humans or not, because survival of the fittest is more considered and more of concern for the animals and not in the humans, if we see. Because there is a significant difference between the humans and animals. But it is up to us whether we maintain the gap or not, or we go to their level and behave like animals and just go in life for food and continuing our species. It's up to you, my dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, to understand that where we draw our line and where we keep ourselves on this planet. To your notice, I would like to bring that even if the whole human species gets destructed tomorrow, this planet will flourish like anything. Because there are more important integral components on this planet, may it be insects, may it be microorganisms, that are replenishing this planet in and out, day in and out, and day and night. And it is not human beings. So man is greedy. Man is greedy. Earth can subside all its need, but not its greed. And same is in the case of food. Now, if the question is about food, then how do we limit it? How do we solve this problem of disproportionality? Definitely it is you and me who can solve this problem of disproportionality. Our nation, our responsibility. Our globe, our responsibility. Our species, our responsibility. And how we can make our contribution, how can we take a step for it and contribute of our side? That is very simple. That what is needed has to be taken. What is not needed can be simply avoided. On the other side of the discussion, I would like to share with you that eating more gets us a package of diseases and a big package of pharma medicines to us. So basically, people are eating junk. I don't even call food because it's not food. I don't even call it as food because it's not food. It is junk. Junk is rubbish. Rubbish is garbage. And what we eat, if it does not benefit us, definitely it's a waste. How we eat it in the morning or maybe in the afternoon, next day morning it gets out from your alimentary canal in the same simple way. Only that your body has to share, or your body has to contribute extra efforts, extra ATP, extra energy it has to spend on digestion of that food. And this is the scene. Now, if you may argue, people may have controversial views, they may have differences of opinion, but simple logic is man is a selfish being. Man is a selfish being, and man will never do something which is against its profit level, which is against the line of benefits. So if you observe this scene, that we are paying money in loads and loads of amount to get food, the food that does not have significant nutritive and nourishing value for us, probably the food which could subside the hunger of other people, because it is also made from those grains, those plants, those vegetables which we grow. But only that the nutritive value is not there, it's absent. And it can be used, the nutritive value can be used for other people, but we are just taking junk. So we are paying for this junk first. Okay. Secondly, then after eating a junk for a long time, maybe at a duration of 15 days or weekly or like that, but the poison is a poison. Whatever is incorrect is incorrect. There cannot be any explanation for the incorrectness. Basically, this is the scene. We try to justify whatever incorrect we are doing, and there we get entrapped in the complications of life. Simply, then once we have taken all this, junk food we have purchased, so we have spent money, and what we are getting, nothing. We are wasting our energy for digestion of the junk, only for the taste of the tongue. And then we are spending a lot of money on the diseases, to cure the diseases that we get because of eating of this junk food. Now the question lies, why do we want to purchase problems? Why do we want to purchase diseases? 80 to 90% of the diseases, ladies and gentlemen, are only and only because of these excessive of eating. Excessive of eating is the root cause of most of the diseases today coming up. And 2 points which I would like to highlight. One is frequency of eating, and second is the timing of the day when you eat. People eat at midnight, 12. Is it the time? Night is for sleeping, day is for working. If we become nocturnal like animals, probably the cycle changes. If we don't maintain our rhythm, which we call it as a biological rhythm or a circadian rhythm, probably if we don't follow the cycle of the nature bangs us very badly, splashes on us the number of diseases, and the end is very bad. The scene was, I was talking about frequency of eating and time of eating. The most efficient body would be that one which consumes food only twice or thrice a day. The most efficient system would be that which consumes at least 40 to 50% of the raw food that it consumes. I'm talking about vegetarian. And it's the leafy vegetables, the raw vegetables and the fruits which gives you minerals and vitamins. The problem is not about carbohydrates. The problem is not about protein. The problem is not about the fats or the lipids. The problem is about minerals and vitamins. You may drink a 2.5 liter Coke bottle, but you may not get minerals and vitamins from it because it's a carbonated drink. You will just get calories and you will just get carbohydrates, nothing else. Carbohydrates, protein deficiency, and lipid deficiency is not the problem. Lipid which gets disbalanced or imbalanced, what you call in medical terms as dyslipidemia, is the problem that which relates to cholesterol and other diseases, cholesterol related. And this is the upcoming market, I'll tell you. And the cause of the problem is people eating junk. People eating junk. People eating in disproportionality. And this is the problem we need to ponder over, think over. And the scene is very clear before us. Now the question still, it still remains. Then if we don't have to eat junk, if we don't have to eat this, that, the question is what to eat. People try to justify eating non-veg for protein or any other food. Imagine just on humanitarian basis, if you have hearts in your heart, in the position of your heart, if you have feelings, you just think over that if there is another species which evolves on this planet and which will start chopping human beings and eating, are you going to give your child to them? How can this be possible? Can we offer our child to them just to eat because the taste is the seen there? For the purpose of the taste of another animal, are we ready to give our children? Are we ready to give our own selves? Definitely not. Then what right do we have to cut down other animals, slaughter down them and eat them just for the purpose of a taste? In Hindi there's a very common saying or very जिसको हम बोलते हैं मशहूर मुहावरा है या मशहूर डायलॉग है कि आप खाने के लिए जीते हैं या जीने के लिए खाते हैं. This is choice of ours, whether we are eating to live or living to eat. We are not eating, we are not living to eat, we are eating to live. Eating is a component of life. It has to be in a limited amount. Eating can be, hunger can be compared to as a disease. For disease you take medicine. You don't eat medicine every day, every now and then, whenever you feel like. Only for the purpose of disease to be cured, we take medicines. Similarly, hunger is the disease, if you consider. I'm not talking, scientifically. I'm talking in terms of analogy. भूख ये रोग है. जिस प्रकार से रोग को खत्म करने के लिए हम औषधि लेते हैं, उसी प्रकार से भूख को खत्म करने के लिए जितनी मात्रा में जितना आवश्यक उतना भोजन हम करें, that is sufficient. Anything in excess is poisonous. This we have to understand and we have to make it practical in our life. Excessive eating is a poison, remember, and this is the doorhouse to hundreds of diseases that are coming up, including hypertension, diabetes, dyslipidemia, cholesterol related problems, heart diseases, coronary artery diseases, atherosclerosis, and even cancers. Lifestyle has to change. Lifestyle has to be modified. Otherwise things may not work. You may get medicines, you may get everything. Even if you have money, you can get everything, but whatever is damaged, you cannot reverse it. You cannot earn health with wealth. Cannot earn health with wealth. Take it clear. Health is not equal to wealth and not vice versa. So things have to be, our attention has to be drawn in things likewise, and we have to see that we don't make mistakes like this, such that we have to pay heavy losses at the end of our life, and we die a misery. And so food and humanitarian basis, on individual basis, you have to think on both the sides, and this is how it can work basically. Now, as I already said, that survival of the fittest is not the scene that has to be practiced by human beings. It is protection of the weakest that has to be seen. And one more thing is, as I was saying, that hunger can be compared to a disease, like as I said, analogy wise, not scientifically, and then you have to eat. Now I was talking about the purpose of food, just the first sentence I started with, coming back to the same sentence and then ending of this topic is, what is the purpose of food? Why do we eat? If the question is, Mr. XY said, what are you eating? He will say, I'm eating a cake, or I'm eating a chapati, or I'm eating something else. And if you ask him, how are you eating? Then he will say, I'm taking a piece of it, putting it in my mouth, and with the help of muscles of mastication, I'm chewing it, and then it's going down in the esophagus, and then in the stomach, and then in the intestine, and then it gets excreted. This is what, how you are eating. Okay, how you are eating and how it gets processed. So the two questions, what are you eating and how are you eating, is very simple. But if someone asks you, why are you eating? The answer is, I am hungry and so I am eating. I am eating because I am hungry. Okay, hunger is the answer for why. Why? But nowadays what is the scene is that people eat just simply because for the taste, or maybe because they got a mood to eat. Without discipline, any aspect of life is going to, it's going to end up in a very messy way, in a very messy way. And it has to be disciplined. Everything has to be disciplined. Discipline will release you. It will relieve you. People say, how discipline can relieve you? Because discipline will relieve you of diseases. In case of purpose of food, discipline will relieve you of diseases in case of purpose of food. Purpose of food is to subside hunger. Purpose of food is not taste. Purpose of food is not taste. Market, people, trend, the scene, scenario, environment around us may be focusing on the taste, but food is not requirement of the taste. Food is the requirement of your stomach. Food is the requirement of your hunger, and that has to be subsided. So know the purpose. So take home message for today's talk or this session is purpose of food is hunger. If the hunger is subside, donate food. In Hindi and in Sanskrit they said, अन्न दान नहीं होता, अन्न ब्रह्म है. जब हम अन्न किसी को परोसते तो उसके थाली में हम ब्रह्म को परोसते. ब्रह्म is one of the supreme powers as per the shastras we follow in Indian culture, and ब्रह्म को परोसते हैं. ब्रह्म को परोसते हैं. अन्न ये दान नहीं हो, उसका दान नहीं किया जा सकता. अन्न हम ब्रह्म को परोसते हैं. So we cannot take it casually, we cannot take it simply. The two important points is, one is this deficiency is not the problem, disproportionality is the problem. So if we have humanness within us, if we have feelings within us, if we think that if we are really human beings, definitely we have to work in the direction of solving the problem of this disproportionality. And the second thing is for individual health, if we are seeing hunger, it's the need, it's the purpose of food, it's not the taste, it's not, food cannot be as per the trend going on, as per the society, as per the cultural practices, as per the religious practices. Food is the requirement of body. Food is the requirement of a body. And as I was talking about, non-vegetarian people eat, and I was talking about that, how can we see, if any other species evolves on the planet saying that human beings is our food, we may not accept them. Probably we may take all the nuclear weapons, all the weapons, and kill that species. So if we don't expect someone else to eat us, then how can we eat someone else? May it be a simple ant, may it be a crocodile, may it be a chick or a hen, may it be a crab, or may it be any non-vegetarian food. They also have the same life, the same soul that we have. All animals on this planet are equal. They have the same source of energy, the core source of energy that is within us. Okay, so only that we have evolved in the means of nervous system, so we are superior to them definitely, but they have the same source of energy that we have, and this has to be taken care of. And another, if you go on the scientific aspect, with a small example I will explain, is that people eating non-veg, they say, what is wrong in eating non-veg? If we are concerned of the health, this is the health aspect. Okay, on humanitarian basis, what we think, that we already discussed. What are the health aspects? So if you take a piece of non-veg, whatever you eat, and if you bring it raw and keep at your home on the table, what will happen? It starts getting rotted. It starts getting rotted. If you keep in the morning and if you wait till the evening, small, maybe fungal growth starts or something else, it gets rotted. For a day or two, it gets completely rotten. Rotting process is because of the temperature. What is the normal temperature? Maybe 30 degree, 28 degree, 32, 35 degrees, maybe in the Maharashtrian side, here on the hot side in Solapur. But the thing is, rotting is because of the temperature. And if you see, human body is an oven for this non-veg food. Human body is an oven for this non-veg food. We are 37.5 degrees Celsius around, maybe 38 degrees Celsius or 36 degrees Celsius. That is the range, and we are an oven for this non-veg food. So this non-veg, what people eat, may get rotten inside for a day or two or maybe more. And this rotting, it will damage, definitely it will damage our organs. Definitely it will. And human system is not made for eating non-vegetarian. If you see the anatomy, do we have big canines like animals to cut the flesh? Definitely not. Okay, secondary to it, do you have a small intestine like the animal? Carnivorous animals who eat non-vegetarian food, they have this small length of intestine because their food is not meant to be digested for a long time. Here, already 30 feet, 32 feet intestines we are having. 6 meter intestines we are having, and this food passes through all this intestine, and definitely it will get rotten in a very bad fashion. And rotten, sada hua cheez hamare pet mein agar humko rakhna hai, people are welcome to eat non-vegetarian food. So you have to think brain wise, not taste wise, not society wise, not trend wise. What will people around me think? Man is a selfish animal. Be selfish for this cause. This is the sole request to you. This is the sole request to you. Thank you. Thank you.